What is going on, guys? This is your boy Astrum Sensei, and welcome to this brand new series on how to create cinematic cutscenes with the Unreal Engine sequencer. So we are going to go from scratch. We are going to go for complete beginners, and through each part we're going to get more advanced and we're going to learn more stuff. So yeah, please look forward to it. You're going to enjoy it. I know I do, because doing cutscenes is more fun than doing other stuff. And yeah, we are just gonna take a tour first through the sequencer stuff and the controls. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this button, which will show you two things, which is add level sequence and add level sequence with shots. So we're gonna go with add level sequence, and we are gonna be we're gonna have to create basically a brand new actor or asset that we are gonna have to work with. So I'm just gonna right click, create a new folder. I'm gonna call it sequences. You know, this is good practice usually. And then inside the folder you would make a like another folder for each level and stuff, but for now I'm just gonna go with this, and we're just gonna keep it called new level sequence. So once you create that, you'll see that the sequencer automatically opens up, and you have this timeline, which is like a video editor or an animating software. So that's great. Yeah, you can already tell it's not going to be that hard. So well, first of all, what we're gonna animate or direct basically is we're just gonna make one of the cubes move around. Then yeah, there's just that. So yeah, let's take a quick tour in the sequencer first. I'm gonna try to go over everything, but well, if I don't cover something or if I'm not very thorough with it, then we'll definitely come back to it in while doing the process. So first thing we have, which is this button. This one is actually like the map, which map the sequencer is opening. Then we have the save button, which, you know, just saves. Then we have this button, which opens it in the content browser. Okay. Then we have create a new camera and set it as the current camera cut, which is something that we're going to do. But first we're going to get in a position that we want. Then press this button, and you can see that it automatically creates a camera right where you are. So yeah, you can see that it's a little bit zoomed in, and that is because of the focal length. So I'm just gonna decrease the focal length. In the details panel over here, you make sure the camera is selected, by the way. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with a focal length of 12, and you can see that it's basically the same thing. So yeah, we are currently in a camera, and we're gonna get back to the camera thing when we go into the timeline. So we're just gonna gloss over everything else very quick. Render this movie. You know, you can render it and turn it into a video. You know, this is good for pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff. It does come in handy, but not right now, so we're not gonna press it. Opens the director blueprint for the sequence. Yeah, basically this is a blueprint that's inside of the sequence, and when you do events, which are things that you trigger in blueprints through the sequencer, so we're gonna cover that in its own video actually. So yeah, this is just, you know, it works the same way as the level blueprint, but it's for this sequence specifically. Then we have actions, you know, just stuff like save as, import, export. You know, this a lot of those are just over here in the actions. You also have things like bake, transform and stuff. Yeah, let's just ignore it for now. View options. So yeah, this one is also like for example, auto scroll. If you have it disabled and you zoom in, which you zoom in with control and the mouse wheel up, and then control and the mouse wheel down will zoom out. So if you press space to play the sequence, you can see that it will just go and you will not really be seeing it. So if you press auto scroll, then you play, you can see that the timeline actually follows the thing over here, the marker thing. So yeah, over here is a lot of those settings. A lot of the things we will get back to probably. Also pilot camera, which will, you know, put you inside the camera or not. you know, it's a lot of stuff that actually has alternatives, so we're also going to ignore this for now. You have playback options. So playback options basically tells you where your sequence starts, at which frame, where it ends. Also a lot of stuff that you can actually change elsewhere. So yeah, you also have playback speed, a lot of good stuff. So yeah, we might get back to this later. Then also this one, it's the keyframe interpolation. Let's just ignore it and we'll get back to it. Create keyframe, which is also like something that we're gonna use. It's basically the essence of animating stuff in the sequencer, including cameras and transforms, by the way. We're not talking about actual animation. So yeah, we're gonna get back to this definitely. Then you have this button, which does snapping. It's basically snaps between the keyframes rather than keeping it smooth. And you have a lot of snapping options over here. Then you have the frame rate, which, you know, you change the frame rate with it. 30 is fine for now, so we're just gonna keep it, but we might just show you around those later. Usually though, 30 or 60, I'm not sure about game cutscenes, but for movies and animation, usually it's 30 or 24. Also we have showtime as seconds, so I recommend this. So showtime as seconds, we'll change it from frames over here to actual seconds, which is what you want to use. Honestly, it is what I use, so it's your pick, but I prefer seconds. Also, you have this button, which will show your keyframes in the curve editor, which you can edit more like, you know, if you're familiar with animation software like Blender and stuff, you do know about the curve editor, which will let you edit your keyframes as a curve. If you are not familiar, then you don't want to touch this for now. Well, we might get back to it later in the more advanced videos, but for now we just want to go and do some sick animations with the cubes and the camera. And we're also going to do a camera cut to another camera, just as an example cutscene. So yeah, and in the next, or you know, in the coming parts, we are also like going to do a few character animations. We're going to try adding voice acting. It's just going to be a fun little series to take you through the process of creating cutscenes in the level sequencer. So wait, is it called the level? No, it's just called the sequencer, by the way. Ignore the level sequencer thing. Also, we are gonna go over the add level sequence with shots. So yeah, we're just gonna focus on this for now, but we are gonna go back and do that one also. So you can see now that our sequence is from 0 to 5 seconds. What I'm gonna do, by the way, yeah, okay, so what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna make it 10 seconds, but if you want to move around your sequencer, you need to know some controls. So first thing, you can go with this one, but it's kind of useless. So what I do is I just use the mouse and keyboard. So you scroll up and down with the scroll wheel without holding anything on your keyboard, but if you press the control button, you can zoom out while doing the scroll wheel thing and zoom in. So just go ahead and test it. Then if you go to any place in the timeline and you press the right mouse button and move around, you can see that it lets you just pan around freely. So this is really useful. And you can also like go to the sides, you can go up and down. Of course, we don't have that many tracks, so yeah, for now that's not gonna work. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna change it into 10 seconds as the cutscene. So over here, to do that, the simplest and quickest way would be to just grab this red line and just drag it into the 10 place, and you can see that it is now 10 seconds. So if you want to do it more accurately and basically if the line doesn't work, because I know that sometimes in the previous versions the red line would just get stuck if you try to drag it around. So you can just go to this button, which is playback options, and you have the start and the end over here. So I'm going to go to end, and you can see that it's 10.0333 seconds. So we just want it to be 10, so just go to 10 and write it over here after just hitting it, and you can see that it goes back a little bit further, so this is more accurate. So the first 5 seconds are going to be this camera cut, and then the next 5 will be a second one. Okay, that's fine, but we're just gonna do a little animation with the cubes first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this cube, and then we are gonna go to track. And you can see over here, we do have a lot of things that we have to cover. So the first thing is going to be actor to sequencer. So this is going to be, this is going to let you choose anything from your world outliner to just add it as a track to the sequencer. But we do have the selected object, which is the cube. It's just going to show up over here on top. So if you have something selected and you press track, actor to sequencer, and press on the thing on the top, it's going to let you do that thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to keyframe 0.1 seconds, or actually no, it's actually 0 seconds. And we're going to go over here into the track of the cube, and we're going to go add a track, transform. Oh, we do have one already. Okay. And then press the add new key at the current time. And this will solidify where it is, so that when you go and do like at 5 seconds, when you go and move it around, it's gonna know that this is the first location at 0 seconds. So yeah, it's just gonna do that. So I'm just gonna move it there, and I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't stay on camera. So at 5 seconds, this cube is gonna go there, and we're going to add a keyframe. So during this time, you can see if you press play, you can see the cube actually move. And yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check out a few little settings. So you can see that when the cube starts, it starts moving slower, and then it gets faster, and this is more accurate to actual real life. But sometimes you just want it to be like very fast and just start and end randomly. So you can right click on the keyframes and choose a different thing, so or different key interpolation. So we're gonna go and do it as a linear, and then you can see that it doesn't ease in and it doesn't ease out. It just goes same speed, and even like if you go where it stops and see it stopping, it's not gonna ease in or ease out. You can see that it just, you know, abruptly stops. So we're gonna right click, change it back to cubic auto, and then try it again. You can see that it stops slowly, and this is more accurate to like how cars stop, and even people, you know, when they are walking, they just don't stop abruptly. They do have acceleration and deacceleration. So yeah, this is the one we're gonna go with. But another one you want to know is constant. So constant, yeah, it doesn't work in this place because yeah, no, because, you know, it needs more keyframes, but usually it snaps between the keyframes. So if we go like this, for example, yeah, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, okay, no worries. So we're gonna right click on both of them and put them back to cubic auto. And also you have some keyframe properties here that you can change. For example, this one, you can change the location, rotation, and scale. So also the time, which time it's at. If in case, you know, you put it at some random point and you want it to be 5 seconds, so you just go here, make time 5, and this will make it accurately at 5 seconds. Also, you can change the transform over here, which is like it's more useful for changing it actually, like location, rotation, and scale. So I'm just gonna do a little thing where the cube actually moves like this before it continues. So in the middle keyframe, we're just gonna add another keyframe like this, and you can see that it has this curve now. By the way, this isn't an animation series, so I'm not sure why I'm like doing that, but yeah, it just looks better, I guess. Yeah, I think that's it for this cube. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna animate the other two cubes really quick. So we're gonna pretend that this is some sort of like road, I guess, and these are cars. So after this one passes, for example, the red light happens, then at 5 seconds we're gonna add the second cube as a track, and then we're gonna add transform, add a keyframe where we are gonna start the movement, and we're going to end it at 8 seconds. So we're going to add another keyframe. Oh, right. I forgot to actually move it. So you can just move it like this. Actually, yeah, let's make it like a left turn, for example. Yeah, let's just move it further. And actually, I'm just going to make it 10 seconds, I guess. And at the middle point, at 7.5 seconds, and I know it's 7.6, but we are just going to add a keyframe. All right, we forgot to pick the thing, like the actual transform. So yeah, you can see we added the keyframe. Then we want to move it to 7.5 seconds. So we're going to right click on it, properties, 7.5. So yeah, if you see now, this is going to move there. Then this is going to move there. And the last cube is just going to go forward. So I know that they are too slow, so I'm gonna move them a little bit. So we're gonna make the first cube move in 3 seconds instead of 5, and we're gonna move the transforms of the cube. You know, if you have this collapsed, you're gonna have to move each thing by itself, so make sure to close the transform thing and then move it to where it's supposed to end, which is at 3 seconds. And you can see this is 3.0333. We're gonna go here quickly and no, sorry, not here. We're just gonna basically do it like this. You can zoom in. You can see that it actually ends at 3 now, which is fine. You know, this is not very accurate. Yeah, actually it is. Okay, then you can just move this to 3, and the middle point is just going to be at 1.5. Now we're going to ignore the camera for now, and for the second cube it's going to start at 3 seconds. We're going to end it at 5 seconds, so this is where it ends. And this point, it's going to be, which is like the middle keyframe, it's going to be at 4 seconds. So now it's going to be faster, which is more accurate, I guess, or more satisfying to watch. And the last keyframe, or the last cube, we're just gonna go at where the second cube ended and add a track, actor to sequencer with the cube selected, add it, then go to transform, add keyframe, and at 8 seconds we're just gonna move it forward. We're gonna go add new key. I guess we can also like move it like this. Add another key. Yeah, okay. So one thing I want to show you, which is really useful regarding adding transforms, is you do have each keyframe as a point in the level viewer or the viewport, and you can actually press it and it will take you to that second or keyframe, and then you can actually like just like go here, move it, and then add the keyframe, which is like super useful. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the cameras. So we do have the first camera, which, you know, you want to see through the camera, so you just hit the either this one or this one, and there is a difference. So this one will show you whichever camera is active right now. So through the cuts, it actually cuts, but if you go to the individual camera and press this button, it's gonna show you the like just this camera. So even if the scene actually cuts, it's still going to be showing the specific camera after it's not being seen by the player or the watcher. So for now we're just going to use this one because this one actually requires its own setup. Actually no, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, for now we're just going to go to the camera view thing. and we're gonna go to keyframe 0, and we're gonna go open this one, and you do have a lot of well, all of the details panel things over here in the camera keyframe thing, or in the tracks, I guess. And you do have things like focal length and even transform. So for zooming in, you can either like move the transform or the focal length. We're just going to go with focal length for simplicity's sake. And we're going to zoom in at 3 seconds. Or actually, no, let's just make it at 1.5 seconds. We're going to increase the focal length a little bit. So from 12 to 16, we're going to add another keyframe for the focal length. And then at 3 seconds, we're going to bring it back to 12, I guess, or 13. 13 is fine. Then, yeah, it automatically adds the keyframe for us. And then also, if you play this, yeah, it's fine, but we want to make it a little bit shaky. So at 0 seconds, I'm just going to add a transform. And I'm going to exit out of the camera. Then at like every few milliseconds, we're gonna just you know, this is not really useful, so let's not do it. But basically, you can just animate the camera to shake using the transform, and I'm just gonna like move it just a little bit. Oh, right. So make sure that you actually go to the keyframe that you need to move to before you actually like put it where it needs to be, because once you scrub, it's gonna lose all your progress. So anyway, we did the first camera, and we want to add another camera. So we're gonna go at 3 seconds. So we're gonna go to this point, and then we're gonna hit the plus button, cinematic camera actor, and no, that didn't work. Right, actually I messed up. So the cut, we're supposed to like add a new camera after by pressing the plus button, we are creating a new shot with the same camera actor, which is located here, so that's not good. To add a second camera instead would be to just hit this button. Sorry, I messed up. But first I'm gonna go where the camera needs to be for the second shot, which is around here, I guess. I know this is like a very amateur cutscene, but hey, it's okay. And then once you've added the second camera actor, you can just go here to the camera cuts thing. You can add it, which is cinematic camera actor 2, and it will add it as the second cut. So I'm also gonna make this from 3 to 6 seconds, and then we can just add the third camera cut, which is around here. Go to this button with, you know, add 6 seconds, and then we're gonna go hit add cinematic camera actor 3, and it's gonna play for the rest of the video. Right, I actually messed up. Actually, no, let's not do this because we need to position it first. So go to the details panel of the second cinematic camera actor, and we're gonna go with the focal length of 12, just like the first one. Or actually, no, let's make it 15. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then well, I didn't need to select that. So yeah, now that you have that, I accidentally moved the camera. Okay, so now that you have that, we're just gonna go to the start of where this camera cuts, and we're gonna play with the focal length as well. So it's around here. It's currently 35. I'm gonna make it 13. No, let's make it 16. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna add the keyframe, then we're gonna go to the last point, or you know, let's just add a few variations. So I'm gonna make the next one 18, then go do another one which is like 11. You know, this is gonna be like the zoom in zoom out camera. It's gonna look ugly, by the way. I'm doing this in a very unprofessional way, but yeah, that's it. All right, we passed the 6 seconds point, so we're just gonna move all of those closer to each other. There we go. So now, yeah, it looks pretty ugly, and it even moves, but that's okay. So yeah, we did the second camera. So I messed up. I animated the focal length and the transform of camera 3 instead of camera 2. So camera 2, we're going to delete it, and at 3 seconds, we're going to add a camera actor 3. Wait, where is it? Yeah, this one. So we're going to add this as the second cut, because I messed up, by the way. Don't do this without having to. Okay, that's fine. And at, make it end at 6 seconds. And after that, we're going to add the third camera, but you want to make sure to disable this button before you actually move around in the viewport, because it's going to keyframe where the camera is. So the third camera, we can just put it around here, I guess. So cinematic camera actor 3, we're not going to use it. Cinematic camera actor 2 is the one we need right now. So I'm going to delete it actually, and then I'm going to add it back. So actually no, let's just add a brand new camera instead. And yeah, it's actually got deleted at first, so that's okay. Yeah, first thing, we're gonna add it as the camera cut. So cinematic camera actor 2 goes there, and we're gonna go to current focal length. We're gonna make it 12. Then we're gonna add the keyframe for it. Then by the end, it's gonna be something like 16, and we're gonna keyframe it. Oh, it automatically does get keyframed. So yeah, now we have a small cutscene of cubes. So if you want to preview it, you can just hit this lock viewport to camera cuts button, and then yeah, with it on, press space and it will play it, and you can see that it's basically a movie and it deserves an Oscar. And if you want to add a sound or a music for it, you can just go to track, audio track, and then add a button over here, or just press the plus button over here. I don't have any music, but I'm just gonna go with something like collapse, I guess. Yeah, it plays an ugly collapse sound, but if you have music, you can just put it, and then put it like this, and it will loop, which is perfect. It's exactly what we need. So yeah, now we have created the first cinematic cutscene in Unreal Engine 5.3. So we are going to get more advanced, and we're going to look at character animation and like just using animations for characters, for blueprint actors, such as player characters, because root motion doesn't work with those. So yeah, we're going to get more detailed into the series, but as a starter look, this is the start. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed the series, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So yeah, also like the series if you want to see more videos, and don't forget to wishlist my game In the Workplace of Madness. Check it out on Steam, it's in the description, so go hit the link and wishlist the game. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care, have a great day, and bye.